Hello, welcome to Closing Chapters, Everyday Real Estate Tales. I'm your host, Brittany Fry. I'm a realtor, I'm a military wife, and I'm a mom. Join me and come transaction by transaction throughout my real estate career starting back in 2016 to hear about the highs, the lows, and the unexpected turns along the way through all of my customers. It's going to be a crazy ride, you guys. I am so excited to share the past, the current, and then what's coming in the future. Hang tight for the ride. Join me about being a realtor, a military spouse, and a mom. Can't wait to see you there. All right, are you ready, friends? It is time to hash out the last deal of 2017. This deal closed December 22nd, 2017, and my clients are still near and dear friends to this day, and they still live in their home since 2017. Why is this unique? Because they are a military family, and so often military families end up having to make moves to different bases. They have had a couple trade-offs. Honestly, those trade-offs have been 2-year-long unaccompanied tours where the spouse has had to leave and go to a base overseas for a year, and that has afforded them the ability to stay put at Shaw Air Force Base and to have some options there. And the reason that's been so important to them is because they have school-age children that are thriving and they want them to stay put as long as they can. So he is also near the end of his career, which will be interesting to see what comes of that in the next couple years. But let's go back to this transaction. This is a story that military families know all too well. Husband is deployed, he is MIA, and we have orders to PCS from California to South Carolina, totally across the coast. And we need a house. So, like any strong, independent spouse would do, my client packed her kids up, flew across the country, and left the kids with family for a day, drove from Virginia down to South Carolina, looked at houses, picked one out, put an offer in, drove right back up to Virginia all in the same day. She is a powerhouse, my friends. And she was so focused in, very easy to make the decisions. We were in and out. Let's go. We had like our top 3 properties and we were able to just boom, boom, boom afterwards and know exactly what we wanted to be, where we wanted to be price point wise, what we were trying to accomplish. And we got it, friends. They have a beautiful 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, 2.5 bath with a bonus room over the garage. So some people might consider that a 4th bedroom. Traditionally speaking, it is a bonus room. Anyhow, almost 2,300 square feet. And they have a great lot. It's a beautiful big backyard, really nice neighborhood, and they've really done some awesome upgrades to their house. So whenever it is time to rent or sell or do whatever transition in life that they're ready for, they're going to have great equity in this home. Did I mention they purchased this for under $200,000? And this house had been slightly updated already. So there was kind of at least a clean slate, 1 foot in the door. So we talked about how it is very, very hard to get a house that is under $100 a square foot nowadays. They purchased this house for $195. And we said it was 2,300 square feet. Now this was an all brick home on almost a half an acre of property, fenced in backyard. Like I said, there were already some upgrades in there. There was already some new laminate vinyl flooring in the house and fresh paint. So it's pretty easy just to move right on in. So they have an awesome little nest egg they're sitting on. They did a VA loan, obviously. So let's talk about the VA loans for half a second. A lot of times people go, oh, it's no money down. I don't have to have any cash to buy a VA loan. Or to buy a house with a VA loan? No, not true. You don't pay a down payment at closing, but you still have your closing costs. Additionally, there's a funding fee, a VA funding fee, that is added to your mortgage. You choose whether it's added to your mortgage or to your closing costs, whether you're going to pay it up front or not. Now, in this case, we actually got a $3,500 closing credit from the sellers, which helps tremendously. But typically speaking, you need to expect 3 or 4% of the sales price to be the amount that you're going to pay in closing cost. Okay. So, VA folks, you still have to have a little bit of cash sitting around. Every once in a blue moon, you get one of those sweet deals where after you've put your earnest money down, which is like your security deposit holding that deal saying, I am acting in good faith and I want this property, that gets credited back to you at closing. So sometimes if you are able to negotiate a good amount in closing costs, plus that credit you're getting back that you kind of paid up front, there have been times where I've had clients get money back at the closing table, which is pretty darn awesome if you ask me. But that's not the norm, and we shouldn't expect that, and we should always know what our fair expectation is and what we should be planning for. So you need to be planning for 3 to 4% of the sales price to be giving as cash to close with a VA loan. And that's the no money down, rolling in your funding fee into your mortgage, okay? Well, the other thing that's really important about this, and I could go on for ages, I will do a separate conversation all about this because it's super, super important to me. VA funding fees, they are added onto your mortgage. So let's say your mortgage is $195, and then we add on a $4,000 funding fee. It's not an even number, it's a percentage and, all that jazz, but just for conversation's sake. So you're actually at $199. Now, the value of your home, your mortgage payment, started at $195. So you're actually upside down, theoretically speaking, for a little while until you pay off that funding fee. It's all lumped into one thing. So really, you owe $199 on a house that you paid $195 for, okay? So if you had to go and sell in 2 years and you only paid the bare minimum payment on this house, there's a good chance that you don't even have that funding fee paid off, nonetheless, any of your mortgage paid off. So you have like hardly any equity to play with, and it might be very hard for you to sell and not have to pay anything at closing. Okay? This is really, 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 really important to know because you need to have this conversation and have an idea of what you think your career, your life might look like in a couple of years. So if this is why a lot of officers really don't like to purchase homes. If I'm only going to be here for 2 years and I'm going to move again and I don't want to keep a house and rent it, then buying may not be a great option. I want everybody to buy because I think it's a great tool for generational wealth. But this is just one of those key components that we need to look at and talk about. And everybody's situation is different. So we are going to go person by person, okay? And if you are okay with renting it, fantastic. I have clients that he is a captain right now, so he is an officer, so he will move every 2 to 3 years with the Army. And he has a property in Washington State and then went to Fort Leonard Wood, where I'm at right now, for his captain career course, call it Triple C. And now he is at Fort Campbell, and they bought a house at Fort Campbell. So they kept the house in Washington, they're renting it out, they bought a house in Fort Campbell. They have every intention of keeping that property and renting it out whenever they leave again. They are creating generational wealth, my friends. And in past conversations with the client that we were talking about today, we have talked about this property staying as a rental because it is in a fantastic neighborhood and it is in a fantastic school district for the area. So cash money, right? It's just really, really all in all a great investment. So if she wanted to rent it, she could rent it very well. It's not far from the base. Obviously, they are military, so they already do that, but it's a very military-friendly community as it is. There is new construction across the street, which is elevating the value of their houses because if something else is being built for more expensive, that helps bring up the area all the way around. So there's a lot of good things going on for them, regardless of whether they buy or like they want to sell it and have somebody buy it, or if they rent it out. So either way, I am super, super stoked. They came down for their closing December 22nd. Everybody signed. Whole family was in queue because they picked up daddy, just come back from his deployment. And then they went back to Virginia to go have Christmas and then came back Christmas Eve to have their family Christmas in their house on Christmas Day. Can you imagine? They had so much going on, and she was such a powerhouse and a ray of positivity. If there's a will, there's a way, and this woman will make it happen. And I was so, so impressed and so happy to have the opportunity to work with her and learn from her, and that just the way that she perceives things and just hits the ground running. It really stuck with me even to this day, and we check in with each other usually when things are a little bit tough. She is an accountant and she works for a CPA, so like this time of year in the next couple months, her world's going to get real crazy. So I'm going to send her a couple of messages and say, "Hey friend, I hope you're holding up okay. April 15th will be here before we know it. I'll send you a beer. Maybe send you a gift card to your favorite restaurant." So anyhow, we love to stay in touch with each other, love to bounce questions off of each other, and I live for relationships like this. This is what is truly satisfying to me, that I helped get a military family into a great property that's going to serve them well, and I have a great friendship out of it. And we stay in touch, and I've gotten to see their kids grow. They've gotten to watch my family begin. Whenever they bought this house, my little daughter wasn't even born yet. She wasn't born until 2020, and they bought this in 2017. So it's been really cool to see both families grow and expand and see where life is taking us. So I hope you have a great day. We are going to do a couple of bonus episodes in here before we get started with 2018. There are a few things on my mind, and I want to do kind of like a little wrap up of the year so you can see how real estate started for me and how it was going after one full year in real estate and how it completely changed momentum and picked up. I also want to show this because I want people to realize that I you don't have to sell 100 homes in a year to be successful, okay? When you go from selling 4 to 20 homes in a year, that's amazing. And that doesn't even have to be your goal. What if this is just some exponential income for you, right? So you need to make it fit for you. We've talked about that before, and I'll talk about it again. So like I said, we're going to have a couple of bonus episodes before we get rolling with 2018. I cannot wait to share more information with you and get hot and heavy for 2018, my second full year in real estate. We're going to count 2016 as a partial since I started in May. So anyhow, we are going to buckle up and hold on and get down to the nitty gritty in these bonus episodes and then have a fresh year. I'll talk to you guys soon.